Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Unbottled. With your host, me, 6feetUnderton. Surprise stream today. This will not be normal. I do not stream on Fridays or Mondays. I figured I'd give this a test. So, Unbottled is a stream about horror. Everything horror, news, anything that's going on that's horrific in the world. Not reality-wise. Fictional. Fictional horror. Horror fiction. Yeah. And yeah, I figured I'd start this stream because not a lot of horror stuff to watch on streaming. I mean, there's streamers streaming video games, streamers reviewing, 4K, ultra high definition Blu-ray discs or whatever. That's cool. I like those. I don't remember what the recent one was, but yeah. And yeah, speaking of not a lot of people talking about horror, as a person who does not love the horror genre, it's not my thing, says Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, that's cool. That's fine. Totally get where she's coming from. My opinion is that do you really need to like horror if you're making horror content? I would say no. You don't have to. I remember reading an article about the actor. There's one thing about this is I don't know names. So I would have to look them up. Unless I can think of them on the fly. So I'm going to need some help. A lot of help. So the actor that did the Hannibal series, Anthony Hopkins. It's pretty sad because he's one of my favorites and I can't remember his name. For some reason I had Christopher in my head, but I wasn't right. So when Anthony Hopkins was asked of some of his favorite roles, Hannibal Lecter wasn't one of them because he didn't fancy the horror genre, or so I recall. That was a while ago. I don't know if I could find the article. But, let's check out what the article says here. If you say the name Jamie Lee Curtis to people, it's like that a few things will come up right after in conversation. Maybe it'll be the comedians who starred in, like the Freaky Friday franchise or Fish Called Wanda, or her emotional Oscar win for Everything Everywhere All at Once. But it's possible that the first thing people will talk about in her status as a major screen queen and one of Filton's preeminent representatives for final girls because of her long tenure in Hollywood movies. Now she's revealed that as a moviegoer, the genre is actually not for her. I'm already losing my voice. Man, I am not a talker. There's going to be a short stream today. I'm going to try to do about an hour if I can. Now we're talking. As one could attest, just by looking at a long list of upcoming horror movies, audience never seem to tire of spooky, chilling, thrilling, downright terrifying theatrical stories. Are fans going to be upset about this? Possibly. I'm not. I mean, if the killers from the famous franchises of Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Halloween, Scream. I imagine there's a lot of actors on Scream that don't care about the horror genre as well. Chucky. I'm sure they do. The voice actors do. It's neither here nor there. What else we got? Oh, yes. Here's how horror movies won big at the Oscars this year. Horror at the Oscars. So you can kind of get what's going on here without actually reading anything. For me, Oscars are pretty boring. I generally don't watch them. I'll go watch streams. I'll look for the memes. But as far as sitting and watching the shows, I'm good. So what does this mean for actors doing horror that don't like horror? Sounds hypocritical. And you go into an award for portraying a character that you don't even like or wouldn't care to do if you weren't being paid. But at the end of the day, it's just a job. You're going to do a job. Like, this is a job. Streaming is a job. To be quite honest, I do not want to be a streamer. I was working to be an outdoorsman working with trees, called an arborist. But then I got a tick bite. And now I can't even pick up toilet paper to wipe my own ass. Why this isn't here, I don't know. But I can pick it up. It's not that heavy. 50-pound weight limit. Forget it. Not going to happen. So I'm here talking about jobs that nobody likes to do. I love horror. I will talk about horror all day to other horror fans. And there are very little of them. Because from my experience, horror fans don't want to be around other horror fans. Because, you know, a great old question back in probably starting with Nosferatu. The questions like, why are you making this movie? Why do you want to make this movie? Why do you like this stuff? Why would you ever want to make something like this? Because there's people who like it. It's part of a fantasy that we enjoy. We like to think about it. You know, people have their romance fantasies, their sci-fi fantasies. People have their horror fantasies. We just like to be scared all the time. People want to be horny all the time. People want to be in space all the time. Every hour on the hour. Should horror fans like me be worried after Sinners and Weapons wins at the Oscars? Yeah, because these aren't horror movies for horror fans. These are horror movies for Oscar fans. And Oscar fans are kind of boring. They're not scary. They're not funny. They're not sexy. They're not cool, action packed. It's like something you put on to fall asleep to. If you know what I mean. Everybody has their sleepy time show. My sleepy time show would be listening to YouTube videos on physics because I like physics. Oh, hockey don't work. Chuck Norris. Was the last time Chuck Norris did a horror movie? Would you have Donald Trump in a horror movie? Would you make a horror bachelorette show? Horror memes? Horror meme coin. First day of horror spring. I don't know who James Gracie is. I see what I mean? I think Arnold Schwarzenegger tried a zombie movie. I don't remember the name of it. I don't even think I watched it. I've given up on Arnold Schwarzenegger. So yeah, we should definitely be worried because what types of horror movies wouldn't even make it into the Oscars? Pretty much the very gory ones. Cannibal Holocaust, Hostel. Saw. I was like, Saw was that important? We got separate horror awards for the good horror movies that are actually scary. Yeah, I would like horror movies. I would like to watch horror movies that are movies that other people would say, no, nah, I'm not watching that. You go to the movie theater watching The Exorcist, and then you come out thinking your life is over because it was the scariest thing you've ever seen. That's my kind of horror movie. Because you gotta have a sense of control. You know it's not real, but you want it to be feel like it's real. And you want to feel like you can be the one that slays the beast. And that would be the case for the medieval genre. You want to be the knight that slays the beast. You want to be the final girl that takes out the serial killer. Right? I watched both these movies, Sinners and Weapons. No, Final Girl is just, happenstance of choices, decisions, plot devices. Trying to be careful what words to use. You know, I wouldn't say activism or message, just trying to tell a story in a spooky way. That would be good enough for the Oscars. And that's fine. You can have those movies. I'm not going to say no, you can't have movies like that. It's the one thing about having woke and horror is like it's the perfect place for woke to be because woke is seen as evil and evil belongs in the horror genre. You're never going to see anybody complain about horror woke because woke is horror. When I watch horror movies, it doesn't bother me unless I'm watching a movie like Cuties, which could be a horror movie to some people because it's a strange thing. You know what I mean? Stranger Things. Creator's new Netflix horror series gets twisted Friday the 13th trailer. Is that something we can watch right now? Something with the Wicked goes bump in the dark today in the newest trailer to come to Netflix. Something very bad is going to happen. Netflix. Oh, they're the home of the cuties. I think about being a movie reviewer or series reviewer, but I just can't with Netflix. I just can't do it. They couldn't pay me to do it. Is there a trailer? Even though on paper they're meant to be joyous occasions filled with the celebration of love, family, and friends, weddings can often be an incredible, stressful experience. It's true. Well, I guess we'll have to wait till we get some more information. I do and do dread at first look. The horror of getting married. Sounded interesting for Netflix. You know what else is interesting? Crystal Lake, first look. Friday the 13th TV series. Now, this I would love to watch and review if I can. What's it streaming on? Been almost 3 years since Peacock. I don't have Peacock. First announced as Friday the 13th prequel series Crystal Lake. We don't get a whole lot of anything for Friday the 13th. But you know, we care about Jason. We will wait for as long as it takes. Jason is one of the good ones. And when I say good, I mean good to watch. He's fun to watch. I wouldn't be his friend. We had Friday the 13th, the video game. It was like Dead by Daylight. The Halloween is coming up. The Dead by Daylight version in September. I will be playing that. And I don't think I'm going to make it to an hour. This is rough. This is why when I do my gaming streams, I barely talk. I can't talk. I'm a silent horror fan. What else can we talk about? You know, I got a bit of a I got a bit of a thing in my head. So it's kind of messing me up a little bit. Like I'm always exhausted, always tired. I can't lift anything. I'm thinking about making a video on it, but I'm gonna let it sit for a while, just stay a mystery. So let's look up. There's probably no articles on this. So I'm just going to pull up a random article. Let's do an IGN article. It should be fun. The IGN writers are pretty comical. Very silly. It's a re-rendering the game. It turns out game artists don't love DLSS 5, despite NVIDIA's claims. The plot thickens. So what does this have to do with horror? It has to do with everything. I mean, look, the first example they did was Resident Evil Requiem. And Capcom saying they we had no idea. And it's awful. There's so many opinions behind why it's so bad. It's like it's hard to find anything good to say about it. What's the good thing about it? You won't recognize anything. You won't recognize the real art behind the AI. You won't recognize the hard work that people put into anything. You might as well be walking down the street with your phone like this in front of your face and say DLSS 5 on, and then just look at everything with an AI filter. You don't know if it's real or not. Is that dog a cat, or is that cat a dog? Does that sit in front of me? What's going on here? Is that a Dunkin' Donuts or a Starbucks? Hell if I know. So I just picture like, 70s, 80s, Nosferatu, Call of Cthulhu, 2005, black and white edition. I love that movie. With DLSS 5 on. And I can't. Because I don't want things to look real. Any more real than reality. Like, I want a step below reality. Like, I will mention Killer Tomatoes, the Killer Cupcakes. It's a silly movie with a shit monster. Nemo? I think it's Nemo. That's a funny movie. It's like, I'd rather have puppets than real stuff. I'd rather have crappy CGI than real stuff. I don't want to have to guess if something was real when it was being made. I don't want to have to guess. I want to know. I want to be afraid of the artist's art. I don't want to be afraid of AI. So I don't think AI would be scary. They had a Ghostface in Mortal Kombat 1, and they had a fatality. And when the Ghostface wipes the knife, there's two of them. He goes like this. But the blade, he's holding the blade like this. And he's wiping the knife this way. I don't think the artist wanted to do that animation. Maybe they did. I don't know. But it was, it's an easy AI mistake. You can look it up on YouTube or something. Yeah, it was funny. I don't want to see Michael or Jason chasing after somebody and then their blade turns into a rubber chicken. It just makes squawking noises when it gets hit. But that'd be hilarious. That'd be something a scary movie franchise could do. Make funny AI jokes. But you're going to have all this AI crap in your game awards and your movie awards. You're going to have people ignoring all the issues that they let go. They didn't edit. It's in the final product. If I were to download Mortal Kombat 1 right now and see that Ghostface animation fatality with a knife blade still there, then nobody cares. I care. I want to hold on to my physical art. So at some point, like, we're going to have the on and off switch disappear because newer generations of pop culture fans are not going to care who worked on any project, how the project was made. There's going to be no appreciation for the labor, no appreciation for the genre, no appreciation for the effort, the time. There'll be no love. We're going on 100 years in current pop culture, and the love is going to be extinguished. And it's going to be a money pit. You make the money, but does it matter? Does it matter, Chuck Norris? Do you care? Can we get Chuck Norris down here? Right here. If you can see him. I got my stuff here. This is the stuff I care about. And you know what? I think I just screwed up my entire stream. Oh boy. I'm an idiot. You're an idiot. I'm an idiot. We're all idiots. This is the stuff I care about. On this side, I bought these board games because of AI. I bought these board games because of NFTs. I bought these board games because of the woke rising, because of the disappearing of physical media. I can live in the imagination of Raccoon City in the form of a board game, have all my favorite characters, all my favorite monsters, be scared of when I lose the roll of a dice to Birkin or Nemesis. I can do whatever I want. I can even add my Final Girls to my Resident Evil board game. I can mix and match. I don't need mods or AI or DLSS 5 on. I just need my imagination. I don't need to paint my figures. I like to leave them blank. I use my imagination to paint them. That's the way I like to do it. So let's do a quick rehash to save the stream, because I'm an idiot. All the articles I reviewed. You can see him now. So back in the beginning, we talked about Jamie Lee Curtis does not love the horror genre. But yeah, we're going to have a frozen browser. There we go. We're going to have horror at the Oscars. But should horror fans like me be worried about horror going to the Oscars? Yes, you should. Because it won't be scary for real horror fans. Stranger Things creators' new Netflix horror series gets Twisted Friday the 13th trailer. There's a wedding horror movie. Looks like we got a trailer. Let's watch this.
You were the one.
Should we, like, get married or something?
Oh, I'm thinking really small ceremony, my parents' little vacation cabin in the woods. None of the wedding bullshit, just beautiful nature, snow falling outside the window.
That's it.
He's gonna love you.
This is insane.
I'm so honored that you two chose to get married here. It is up to you now to protect the soul in front of you.
What makes two people soulmates? Some call it fate. But the most important decision There's who you trust to keep secrets.
If there is such thing as a soulmate, then yes, Nikki is my soulmate.
Are you sure he's the one?
To love.
Something doesn't add up.
I don't know what to do.
We are still getting married, right?
Ever since we got here, I feel like something weird is going on.
I want to marry you. And you want to marry me. Isn't that all that matters?
It wasn't a bad trailer. Spooky. Oscar worthy. Probably not. Yeah. I guess marriage could be scary if you don't know what you're doing. You know, you get married, you make the kids, you raise the kids, you yell at your spouse here and there once in a while, you make up, make the breakfast, make the lunch, make the dinner, go to work, go home, play with the kids, help them with their homework. Damn, it's a scary horror movie. Anyway, the last thing we covered today was the DLSS 5 nonsense. Total hullabaloo. But yeah. Let me pull something up real quick. Give me a minute. I'm just curious about something. All right. So I just Googled top 10 video games of all time. So look at these. I don't care if you agree with this or not. I'm just using this as an example. And you have your top 10. I have my top 10. So this is Google's top 10. We got Minecraft 2011, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tetris, Grand Theft Auto 5, The Last of Us, Super Mario World, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Half-Life 2. I do like that game. Dark Souls and Super Mario Brothers. Honorable mention. Elden Ring, Red Dead Redemption 2, Chrono Trigger, Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 7. So these are original releases, I believe. Because you get the 97 one here, 2005. (2013), unless they're including the remakes and the re-releases. So keeping the DLSS 5 in your head and looking at these games, would you play with these with DLSS 5 on out of curiosity? Would you keep it on because you like it? Would you keep it on because it makes the gameplay better? It makes your experience better? It makes you want it to look real? You want your Minecraft characters to look like real people? You want Link to look real? You want your Tetris blocks to look like bricks from a building? I don't know. So on and so forth. My answer personally is no. I want to play all these games as they were made, intended, designed, original. My favorite game of all time? Real here. Whoa. I ate this game for breakfast. Probably lunch and dinner too, but I had school and homework and all that nonsense. Kick Chameleon. It's got everything in it. And it has my purchase receipt. Did I purchase this? This is my second copy because my dog ate my first one. I wish I had kept the scraps, but I just, trash is trash. The date on this is there's no date. Oh. January 2nd, 2024 at 1:06 p.m. I bought it from a local retro shop. I don't know if I would buy this if it was just a cartridge. I want the case and the book. Great condition. A lot of memories with that game. Do I want a remake? Do I want a modern version? Do I want DLSS 5 on? Do I want it to be a massive multiplayer online game with microtransactions? Hell no. I want this game right here. I want the different masks. I want to be the cool kid on the block to save the day from, ironically, an AI takeover, which is pretty awesome. I kid you not. This is the only physical video game I have in my possession. It's the only one. I do want to build a little top 10 collection of Sega Genesis. Like, I don't know if all versions of Sega or just the Sega Genesis, because you got different variations. You'd probably just do top 10 of this generation. I'm tired now. Yeah. It wasn't too bad. I have to work on my voice. I have to go get some lunch. Yeah, this was fun. I want to do more of these. Definitely. I would love your comments, good and bad. Likes are appreciated. Dislikes, whatever. Tell me how much of an idiot I am. Uh, um, uh, I could be like that guy from Office Space. The guy's his red stapler. I got my red scissors. Like, don't take my red scissors. These are my red scissors. Don't touch my red scissors. And I use my red scissors for everything. Oh. What else we got today? Oh, let's watch a few trailers. So can I pull up YouTube while I'm streaming? Is that gonna screw with anything? Yeah, I might. Um, watch trailers here. I'm gonna promote the crap out of these games. Every stream, I'm gonna show them every stream. Let's start with I'll probably end every stream with these trailers. All right. try that. The first one is Sinking City 2. Wish list. To be determined. Six shooter. Oh, sorry, no volume. I like that game. Yeah. I get goosebumps every time. Great. All right, last one. This is a doozy. So this one, this game has an amazing opportunity to take advantage of all the modern gimmicks and abilities from modern software and modern hardware in gaming. Because it's technically the first of the franchise. And that is Hellraiser Revival. I cannot tell you how much I waited for this game so bad. Like, they could screw this up so bad, or they can make it so awesome. I just wanted to make it. I just wanted it to be memorable. Memorable like Resident Evil Requiem for new and old fans alike. If you watched any of the interviews, the voice actor, I don't have his name in my head, was expecting old and new, or more old with some new, but he expressed that it's mostly newer. You're going to recognize everything you see, but it's going to be different in a way, which I'm fine. I don't care. It could do whatever, I guess. but I expect to see, what Hellraiser is. The Hulu Hellraiser movie is good. I like it. Not as much as the originals, but it feels good to watch. Here's the trailer for Hellraiser Revival.
Enlighten me. How do you know you love Sunny?
When she's near, I feel this rush. I need her.
Sometimes the things we think we need are not all that good for us.
If we say so.
As you say, I have witnessed you, Aiden Lynch. You crave what we offer, your desires so plentiful. Give in to your thirst.
Such delicious torment. It is done. She belongs to the labyrinth now. But perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
What do you want from me?
Aiden Lynch. You will give yourself to our purpose. All that you are. Let us begin.
It's me, Frank. So, when I mentioned new stuff, I'm imagining more sex than gore. I hope not. I hope it's 50-50-ish. I want 80% gore, 20% sex. Or 80% gore, 10% sex, and 10% everything else. Music sounds good. I'm not even going to care about the DLSS 5 on stuff. I like the way it looks. I don't know what the improvement would be, but to each their own. Final thoughts. Future sucks. Horror rules. Down with censorship, which is why I named the stream Unbottled. Get all your stuff out that you want to say without being limited. Curse to the high heavens. Yell to your neighbors. Don't yell at them, yell to them. Speak your mind. Talk about the things you love. And stay scared. I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching.